Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I am Power Symphonic and I'm going to be reviewing Mind Over Matter from the UK prog metal band Illusia. This was actually gifted to me to do a review on. My good friend Emmanuel Forston from the band Chrysalid dropped me a message and she said, "Hey John, I've got a band that are releasing, I believe this is a debut album. Would you mind reviewing the album if I send you a copy?" Which I said, more than happy. I'd more than happy get this band on my YouTube channel. Plus also I get to check them out because I love discovering new bands, and I have listened to this album and it is chef's kiss. It is, for a debut album, it is brilliant. If you're a fan of Yes, Dream Theater, and you like Stratovarius, and then I'd recommend like King Crimson, Pink Floyd, all that sort of stuff, and like Pyromaze and whatnot, and Labyrinth. And if you like your prog metal, your prog power, Dakitis, so prog metal, prog power, all that sort of epic stuff, melodic metal and stuff, I think you'd really enjoy this. So I would definitely give this one a listen. But I made plenty of notes on my tablet because trying to remember everything, yeah, is a pain. But let me look at this disc. Look at that, awesome. So you have got the track listing on the back with some cool artwork, but I'm gonna have to get another case because I don't know if I dropped it or something. But track 4 features Emmanuel Forston, but as you can see, that little crack in the case, I can easily get that sorted because every day at work we get CDs in and I get to bring them home, so I'm always bringing stuff home, and then I just replace the case, which won't take 5 seconds, which is no big deal. But I don't know if I dropped it or if it was a postman or something like that. But I love that artwork. The minute I seen that artwork, if I hadn't have known what the band was, I would have literally seen that artwork and said, "Oh, I'm guessing they're like melodic metal, prog, power, symphonic or something like that," and I would have pre-ordered that or picked that up purely from that artwork because it is brilliant. And yeah, I do love the album. I think it's absolutely awesome. Let me get to show you this book while I'm at it. I've not actually looked in this book. Mind Over Matter. This album follows a character with a vivid imagination who feels adrift in life, uncertain of the place in the world as they become increasingly aware of the horror and injustice around them. The weight of reality becomes too much for them to bear. Unwilling to face it, they retreat to a world in their mind, a safe refuge of their own creation where no harm can reach them. This is awesome. So if you want to read the rest of that, you can pause the video or get yourself a copy, which I highly recommend. So you've got the track listing, cool, that tells you exactly the guest musicians and all of that sort of stuff, which is awesome. So you have Jason Tyler, vocals, keyboard, drums, bass, acoustic guitar. Wow, there's virtually everything. And then Deck Doyle on guitar and vocals. I love Delirium. That song is absolutely awesome. But my favourite track off this album, now that is a tough one because the whole album is brilliant, but it's either Overture or Arrival, which I think are absolutely awesome. The lyric books, that's what I love. So you get Overture, Solace Divine, Daydream and Delirium. Then there is Anemoy. I think it's Anemoya. I'm not sure if it's Anemoya, but cool. Recorded mainly at his parents' house just outside Manchester. Awesome. My favourite team from Manchester. I'm a big Manchester United fan, as everybody knows on my YouTube channel. I just literally watch Man City lose 2-0 to Tottenham, so I am over the moon and I'm laughing my head off. Shine Through the Night, Dream Dance and Alone. So yeah, sorry for you Man City fans. Not a Man City fan at all. But well, that's cool. Some pictures of the band. Beauty in Disguise, What If, and then Arrival, which is awesome. And it's all cool. It tells you the recorded and all that sort of stuff. This album was recorded using Premier and Mapex drums and various instruments and stuff, which is awesome. So if you want to read that, I'd highly recommend giving this album. So now I'll try and review this album the best I can, because I struggle with stuff like this. I find the unboxing things quite easy, but I am forgetful with bands, so trying to remember where they're from and all that sort of stuff is why I make notes and I refer to my tablet, because it's a lot easier of how many albums are made, because trying to remember everything is a task and a half, and I haven't got an eidetic memory. But it starts off with the album Overture, which I thought was awesome. I like the intro. It's a great intro. Great intro to an album which kicks off with a Yes/Dream Theater vibe. So as everybody knows, I love Dream Theater, and Yes are an incredible band. I haven't got every studio album of Yes, because I know they've released 20 something studio albums. So trying to find every album and get them. I've got like 12 studio albums, so I need to get the rest of them. But this is a long track. It rocks in at in between 7/8 minutes or something like that. And oh, it is mwah. That's what I say about the track. Then it kicks into track 2, which is Solace Divine. It jumped straight in, barely with any intro, and the guitar work on this song is absolutely awesome. So yeah, I can't fault this album. So 10 out of 10. Well, that's just me, but some people may obviously think different. But the vocals on this are absolutely awesome. I was getting Andy Darius vibes with this track. So if anybody doesn't know, Andy Darius is the second vocalist for the German power metal band Helloween. So I was getting Andy Darius vocals with parts of the song, piano arrangements of Chef's Kiss, and with the track I'm reminded of the mighty prog metal band from the US, Dream Theater, which I've seen once. They're absolutely awesome. So that song was just, oof, as I've said to a few people, but I've sent this to my good friend Bruce. YouTube, I sent him a link to YouTube to some stuff, and I said you need to check these out, because he writes for the magazine Fistful of Metal, and he does all that like prog power, and he's a massive prog head. And I sent him and said check these out. I said I think you'd like them. So he said from the one track that I sent him, and he said cool when I said about the Dream Theater / Yes vibes, and he went, I need to check that out. And I said definitely, but it'd be cool, maybe he could get you in his magazine. But Bruce Turnbull is my good friend on Facebook, so if you want to, if any of the band watch this and I want to go and contact him, then I'm sure he'd get you in his magazine, because he's one of the writers. And then the third track is Daydream, which that piano intro, I was just like, oh, I love a good piano intro. But sometimes with bands it works and bands it don't. Now this band, it works brilliantly, that piano intro. And I'm loving these cellos, because you hear some cellos in the music, and that literally reminds me of one of my favourite bands that I've seen about 4 or 5 times, which I believe they're from Finland, if anybody knows them, and they are called Apocalyptica, which is a band which is just 4 cellos and a drummer, and they are just, I first seen them back in 2005 supporting Rammstein, and I first heard them, I couldn't make heads or tails out of them, and I was like, this is just a bit weird. And then by the end of the set, that was it. I became a fan, and I've got all their studio albums. I'm just waiting for a new studio album out, but they're absolutely awesome. Drum arrangements are fantastic, and do I hear an organ sound in Daydream? I'm pretty sure I do hear an organ sound, but it sounded absolutely cool, which is awesome. Then you got Delirium, which features my good friend Emmanuel Forstum from Chrysalid. I've actually seen them. I went to see them with my good friend Martin in Burnley, so Yorkshire somewhere, and they were great live. And I was taken aback because he gifted me the first studio album and a t-shirt, which I wasn't expecting that. I was literally going to purchase the first album and a t-shirt. I was literally going to go and purchase it, but he beat me to it and gifted it me, which as I said, I was taken back, and I said thank you so much, I appreciate it. I didn't expect it, would have happily paid, but I was happy to get them on my YouTube channel, because Chrysalid are awesome. If you haven't checked them out, if you love your power metal, then give them a listen, highly recommend them. But yeah, Emmanuel Forstum is awesome. And this next one is Animoya. I think that's how you pronounce it. It was Annie Moya or Moya. I've probably butchered that, but this continues straight from the last track, which some songs where I've had it before, I've listened to it and it just continues straight on. So say they're split it into or something like that, or you don't even get like like a second break or something, it just kicks into it, which I love stuff like that. But then it's, when you're reviewing an album and then you're listening to it and then you check what track you're on, you realise it's the one after and you're like, oh, so you have to skip that one just to figure out when it ends or when it starts, which I love that. I don't know if it was my CD player that done that, but yeah. So Anamoy. The key arrangements are fantastic in this song, but parts of it feel like a ballad, which I actually like because I love ballads. Some of my favourite ballads is obviously Ozzy Osbourne, Dreamer, but then some Hammerfall, Glory to the Brave. That song is just absolutely incredible, and when I heard them play it live in Manchester, I nearly bawled my eyes out because it's just an epic song. And there's another one which is Ice Turf, and that's Watching Over Me, which I haven't listened to that band in a bit, but I still love that song. Then after Anamoy we have Shine Through the Night, which features Alessia Scoletti. Now I know nothing about her, so I'm not sure what band she's from. If she's going to feature on all the albums, if she's just a guest musician, but she has got some pipes in her. So yeah, it's a song I literally recommend, and the solo in this album is just wow. I was like, oh, I love a good solo, but that one was just so yeah. I'd recommend giving it a listen. That song, I'd recommend giving the whole album a listen because it's absolutely incredible. For a debut album, it's well produced and bloody brilliant. Then we have Dream Dance, which I listened to that song and for some reason I get Magnum / Hailstorm / classic rock vibes, which I love. I love all the classic rock bands. So I love stuff like Magnum, Kiss, Whitesnake, Def Leppard, Queen, all of that sort of awesome stuff. I love that. Led Zeppelin and everything. I've seen Def Leppard, I've seen Whitesnake. I've actually, lucky enough, I've seen Ozzy Osbourne. Still painful at the moment because I bawled my eyes out when he passed away, and it still hurts and I still get tearful because he was one of my idols. But yeah, so you get the classic rock vibes, and the guitar work in this is great. I just need to look at the book more to figure out what type of instruments they play, which is awesome. But from the keyboard stuff and some of the keyboard sounds, I'm thinking Korg or something like that, but I may be wrong. I'm going to go check the book to see what sort of piano and keys and all that sort of stuff they use. Then we have Alone, which I like the intro. I love the piano intro. I thought it was awesome, and I've sent it to one friend and said, there you go. I said, this intro, I said, it just grabs me straight away, and I was like, this song is, needs to be listened, but they haven't made a bad song off the album. Then you have Beauty in Disguise, which the piano parts are impressive in this song, and production of the song is great. Then we have What If, which there's some fantastic guitar work on this song, plus fantastic guitar work on this whole album. And then we have Arrival, which this one has got classic prog rock vibes. So I'm thinking like Yes, Kim Crimson, Pink Floyd, but then there's like Dream Theater, and then you got some prog power metal bands, The Kisses, which are from my neck of the woods, Birmingham, and then you've got Pyromaze, which are probably my favourite progressive power metal band, which are absolutely awesome. So yeah, all of that mixed into one was cool. So yeah, overall the whole album is strong and powerful debut album with a great production, and I look forward to listening to future stuff by them. So I can't wait to see what they bring out. I know it's their debut studio album, so hopefully they have a full, long, lengthy career. But I can't wait for the second studio album, even though this one has just been released and I've played it about 10 times now. So I'm going to go and actually, after this video, I'm going to go and give this one another listen, because yeah, it kicks me. you know, literally kicked me up the arse, and I was like, whoa, for a debut album. I was like, very impressive. But yeah, I can't wait to hear what this band features or has to offer in future releases. I definitely love to see them live. There isn't a song, bad song on the album, but I have one gripe about this album, one dislike about the album, and the only dislike I have about this album is it ended too quickly. Because after it finished, I was like, oh, because I love songs that are like 20-30 minutes long, and I love epic masterpieces. So like you've got Stratovarius Destiny, and then you've got like Dream Theater Illumination Theory, which that song is a masterpiece. Which then you've got like Pull Me Under, and you've got Octavarium, but then you've got like Pyamaze with the Time Traveller, and then Dickesis with the Seventh Sky. And yeah, then Stratovarius have done stuff like, if you listen to Elements Part 1 and 2, that's got more like the prog to it, because I went in that sort of direction. But yeah, I cannot fault this album, so it's an album I'm going to definitely recommend to everybody and say you need to give this album. I'm thankful that I have good friends, and thank you, Emmanuel, for getting me onto these so I can discover them, because they are brilliant. This has literally been catalogued onto my Discogs, and it is going in my collection there. As everybody knows, I've got two there. I've got one that side and one that side, so I've got like two more of them bookcases. And so far I've got over 4,500 CDs. I've only got about 1,200 vinyl, and I prefer vinyl actually. I prefer the sound of vinyl. Do love CDs, but I prefer vinyl. The reason why I've got more CDs than vinyl, because I've explained to how many people, because say something like this will be on Amazon, and I'd see it for pre-order on Amazon, it would be 10 to 15 quid for a CD, which is like, cool, pre-order the new album of a band. I've just pre-ordered a load, and I've literally just had a pile of stuff turned up. But I pre-order an album and it would be like 10, 15 quid on CD, and sometimes you get a double CD with extra stuff, which I think is awesome. And then it comes to the vinyl, and it's like Slipknot, the anniversary album, it was like 10, 11 quid. And then on vinyl, in between 60 to 70 quid. That's the reason why I haven't got it on vinyl, because I live on my own, I work full time, and I physically just couldn't afford it. So I was like, yeah, I can't afford it, but I have to wait for stuff like that to come down in price, and then try to get it on vinyl as and when I can. But CD, it's a lot cheaper. It's the reason why I get more CD, but I do prefer the sound of vinyl. And I do listen to MP3. I listen to Spotify because I've got a premium account. The only reason why I've got a Spotify premium account is because when I'm out and about, because say taking a record deck with you round town and a set of speakers or something like that is, yeah. And I've got a portable CD player, and I've got a portable cassette, but portable CD players. So I'm sitting on a bus, I've only got a slightly jolt, and then it skips a CD and that sort of stuff. That's the reason why I only use them at home, and it's the reason why I use MP3 on my phone and headphones. Purely headphones, because, you know, I guarantee most people on the bus wouldn't want to hear me rocking out to some prog metal or some power metal, which, as you all know, I'm an immensely huge power metal fan. But yeah, they wouldn't want to. So yeah, this has been my Illusia unboxing video. I don't want to rabbit on too much because I don't want the video to be on for too long, but I recommend you give this a listen. It is absolutely awesome. I did receive a letter with this which say thanks me in advance and about my YouTube channel and that sort of stuff, which is awesome. And I am grateful that I've discovered this band, because I love discovering bands. So this one's going to go back in my CD player, and I cannot wait to give this one another listen. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I've literally just done a latest haul on my YouTube channel of stuff that literally turned up, and there's 5 CDs and a vinyl. So I just did the new Hammer King. That one's got to be unboxed, but as I've said, don't like the vinyl. It's just don't like that because the artwork I've seen on YouTube, I've seen it on Google, and I've seen it on Facebook, and it looks brilliant, but for some reason that looks blown up and it just doesn't look right on the vinyl, so I'm not impressed with that. But other than that, I've listened to the album, love the album, got it in my collection. I've just got to see if that's a misprint or something. If it is, it will stay in my collection. Then we have the new Warman album, the new Aura album, which is folk prog from Thomas Holopainen from Nightwish. German power metal band Mob Rules, Burning Witches, and then some German folk / power / medieval metal with Fire Swans, which I've just literally seen these at Bloodstock open air, and they're awesome. This is a band I'd love to see at Bloodstock open air. Plus, I know the band have probably watched this, or some of the members, but I'm off to, in October in Wolverhampton, I'm off to Quest Fest, or Power Metal Quest Fest, whichever the one they call it now, and it's an all-day festival purely for power metal, prog, and heavy stuff. So stuff like Hammerfall, Stratovarius, Nightwish, Epica, Dekesis. So this year they're having Fabio Leone, where he's gonna play all Rhapsody stuff, Sonata Arctica, and that sort of awesome stuff. There's been prog bands there, some awesome prog bands like Aeoni and stuff, but I'd love this band to play at Power Metal Quest Fest. So my good friend Amy Chatterley and Gemma, I can't remember her last name now, it's literally gone straight out my head, but them are the members of two of the members of Dekesis. Amy Chatterley's on my friends list on Facebook, so I've got to send her this band and just say, look, I think this band would fit perfectly at Power Metal Quest Fest, or Quest Fest, I think they've changed it to now. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next video. If you're new to this channel, if you would like to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, all of that sort of epic stuff, because as I've said, it's mainly unboxing videos I do, but then I do, you know, some album reviews. I do gig reviews, because I've literally done my review for Bloodstock Open Air, and I posted a few shorts in the, you know, the short things, so you can see what my time was like. But I haven't really, because videos, most of my videos, and 99% of them is me at home, because of anxiety and my confidence issues and all that sort of stuff. I'm doing a video where I'm travelling to a gig, like some people who do videos outside surrounded by people and all that sort of stuff. Not yet. I do plan on doing that at some point, and forcing myself to do that, and actually getting better with my confidence and everything. But yeah, as I said, unboxing videos, show off my latest haul. I get new stuff new enough quite a lot, and thanks to my job I find a lot of stuff, and I've literally found a bunch of CDs at work I did. So I found Paul Weller, classical, I do love classical, Blondie Best Of, Carlos Santana, another classical. This one's from my brother Rick Astley, because I'm not really a fan, but I know he's a Rick Astley fan, and not really into George Michael. I probably like one song if that, so they'll be gifted to my brother. And then there is an Enya, which I do love that, so I love like folk and that sort of stuff. But yeah, my music taste is all over the shop, because I'm an immensely huge power / symphonic metal fan, but then I love melodic death metal and then prog ed, because I love prog. So as I said, yes, King Crimson, Pink Floyd, Dream Theater, massive fan, Pyromaze, all that sort of awesome stuff. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I'll go give this one another listen now, and I cannot wait to listen to it again. So I'll catch you in the next video, and hope you're all having a good evening, and Power Symphonic saying goodbye. See you later.